Hey guys, welcome back. Today we'll be installing the 4Runner Lifestyle Fang Lights on this awesome Army Green 4Runner. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this install is you're gonna need a 10mm socket, some sort of pry tool to remove clips, an Adafuse, and a T-tap. And we will put where you can get the Adafuse and T-tap in the description. Or you can go to any hardware store and it'll be just a couple cents for each one. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing, you're gonna pop open your hood and we'll start the process to remove the front bumper. So to start off, we're gonna remove this shroud. It's held on by 13 clips, so you'll use your pry tool here to get those off. With the OEM ones, you just pop it down and then pry it up. Okay, so next we'll start to take off the bumper. It's held on by about 10 clips and 6 screws. So there's 2 up top here, 1 on either side, and then there's 4 down below right here along this metal piece. To get these out, you're just gonna pop up the middle piece and then the whole thing will come out. So after you undo those screws, if you have a newer 4Runner that has this sensor garnish, you'll just need to remove a couple of things in here in order to get the bumper off. So you start by doing this clip right here. And then you'll take your 10mm and there's 2 bolts on this side that you will need to remove. Okay, so in order to get the clips and the bolt off the side right here, you'll need just your pry tool and a 10mm. There should just be 1 10mm up at the top up here. We'll go ahead and remove that one first. So once you get that done, there's gonna be 6 bolts on the bottom that you're gonna take off with your 10mm. So after you get those ones done, we'll just take the 3 off on the other wheel well, and then we'll be good to take the whole bumper off. Okay, so after you get that, it's time to take the bumper off. Be sure to set down like a blanket or something soft that you can put your bumper on so you don't scratch the paint. Okay, so when taking this off, the best thing is you'll kind of feel that the whole bumper is a little bit loose. You'll come in here, I like to kind of position my body like this, and then you just kind of push a little bit and then pull this back side out. Okay, and then the things will just start unclipping. We'll go do that to the other side. Okay, so we just did the initial pop on this side off camera, but the whole bumper should be ready to come off now. You just kind of want to be gentle and just work it off. Okay, so once you're like this, you're gonna wanna make sure to undo your fog lights. If it's a 2023 or newer, all of the fog lights will go to one side. If not, you'll just unplug it on either side. And then once that's all done, bumper should just be ready to come off. So you're not gonna have to remove your fog light. All you're gonna have to do is get these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. In order to do that, you're gonna start by removing this little white pin. This thing just kind of helps lock them into place, and that's just a little push down and it slides right out. So once those are all done, including this one up top, you're just gonna want to slide it and it should just slide right off, just like that. Okay, so next you'll take your new Fang light and you'll just kind of work it up, taking the wire, putting it back through on this underside of your fog light, and then working this thing back into place. Okay, once everything's lined up, you'll just kind of start pushing it up into place so that it'll clip in. All of the clips should be the same as the OEM. And then you'll take this white locking pin that we took from our OEM one and you'll just slide it back in just to lock your new Fang light in place. And then you'll just repeat the process on this side. So once those are off, you're gonna hold off putting the bumper back on for now, and we'll do the wiring really quick. Okay, so in order to start your wiring process, you're gonna reach your hand right up in between the fender liner and the frame, and you're gonna reach up for your turn signal bulb. You're gonna turn it to the left, and you're gonna pull the bulb itself out. and then the bulb comes out. Okay, so now you're gonna take your blue wire and your tap, and we're gonna connect this blue wire to the yellow wire on this driver's side. Okay, so you'll take your tap and you'll just slide it on to this yellow wire until it's to the second one. And then that's when we'll take our blue wire and we'll cut this top off, and you'll slide it up in there and close everything. Okay, before you do this, we're just gonna cut this little end off, just like that. Okay, now you just feed the blue one through till it's flush at the top, and then you'll go ahead and close your tap. So now this is in, you can just slide this blinker bulb back up into place. Just like that. Okay, so now you're gonna take your yellow wire and your long black wire, and you're gonna start feeding it through. There's a little place right here to just go ahead and start that. Once it goes through, you can go ahead and zip tie these wires to the frame just to kind of keep them out of the way of this cooling system. Okay, so to go to this side, you're going to do the same thing we did on the other side by removing this bulb, which is your blinker bulb, and pulling it down right here. You're going to take your yellow wire, just like we did with the other wire, and you're just going to cut this little top piece off, just like that. And then on this side, we will be connecting the yellow wire to the blue wire. Your green wire is your daytime running, and your black and white wire is the ground. So we'll be connecting to the blue wire on this side. So you're gonna put this on the blue wire all the way into the second one, and then you're gonna go ahead and take your yellow wire, slide it into the first slot, and then you just close this and call it good. Okay, so once you tap that, you'll just go ahead and push this back up here so that you can slide your blinker back in. So once you do the connector, you want to mount the box. We mounted the box on the back side of this bracket right here, just so that it could stay nice and hidden, give the wires plenty of reach, and make everything nice and clean. Okay, so now we're gonna run these wires up behind the headlight here. Your red line is gonna go to an fuse, and you're just gonna connect those two together. The black line will be a ground wire, and then this white one is a daytime. We don't usually use that, it just makes things dimmer. Okay, so you're gonna take your black ground wire, and we're gonna ground it right here to this side plate just to keep it away and keep everything clean. Okay, so once this is grounded, you just go ahead and tighten that back down. Okay, so next we'll take our fuse and our red wire, and you're gonna wanna just try to connect them the best you can. Try to work this little piece up into this red wire if you can. So once the metal piece is in the middle of both, you'll just go ahead and pinch down that middle. So once you get this pinched, you'll get your lighter or a heat gun and just kind of heat this up, and it'll cinch those together. Okay, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna tap into our ignition fuse. If you have a 2023, it's gonna be the first 10 on this far left side. If not, you might have just a little bit different placement. You're just gonna look for the INJ on your little map on your car. And just so you know, you'll need two 10-volt fuses in that tab. So once you have your fuse installed, everything should be running and good to go. Okay, so once all the wiring's done, you'll want to turn on your car, make sure everything's plugged in and everything's working, and then you can reinstall your bumper. The first step to reinstalling your bumper is going to be to make sure that you have your fog lights plugged back in. Okay, so once you plug your fog lights back in, you'll just put your bumper on. I like to click on these sides first because they hold the bumper into place, and then we'll start replacing all of our bolts and our clips. Okay, so you'll start by replacing your clips on this side just by sliding them back in. And then you'll take your 10mm bolt and place it back into this top one. Now you'll just go ahead and repeat the process on the other side. And so next we'll replace all of the bolts that are on the bottom, all 6 of them. So if you have a sensor garnish, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and replug that in, and then replace the bolts that are on that bracket on the other side. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to replace these 6 clips, the 4 that go down here on the bottom, and then the 2 up here that are on the headlights. And now we'll just replace the shroud. Next, we'll replace all 13 clips that go up here. All right, and like that, your 4Runner Lifestyle Fang Lights are installed and they look great. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment on what you'd like to see us install next.